going on, guys? Simon here, and here for another vlog. And I promise I will get to a full review of my Subaru Impreza in the near future, in the upcoming weeks when I actually get time to film it. But what I did want to make today is a video about the 5 things that I really don't like about my Subaru Impreza. Starting off at number 5, this is a kind of a weird one, is the steering wheel. Yes, this is the base steering wheel. It's very, very thin rimmed. It's not leather wrapped, of course, it's polyurethane. But the thing that bothers me the most is that it's a 3-spoke design, but the horn goes all the way to the bottom spoke. And that causes issues when the steering wheel is turned 90 degrees in any direction and you accidentally rest your hand on it. You accidentally will sometimes honk the horn. I've done that before, and I've actually accidentally honked at someone on the street, and I kind of felt really, really bad. But that's just a weird design flaw. Most steering wheels only encompass the middle portion of the steering wheel, but this one is all-encompassing from the middle all the way to the bottom of the spoke. So that's one thing I really don't like about it. The number 4 thing I don't like about my Subaru Impreza is the infotainment system. Now, Subaru Starlink is light years better than what their original infotainment systems were in older Subarus, and I'm not knocking the entire infotainment system. I'm most notably knocking their Bluetooth system. The system has failed on me multiple times, and one time it just completely crapped out on me, and I couldn't even reset the Bluetooth system through my phone or through the infotainment system. I had to turn the car off and turn it back on, and then it would recognize my phone. But other issues I've had with the Bluetooth is just that it would unsync with my phone. It would have no idea how to pair with my phone. The audio wouldn't be displayed correctly unless I had, unless I go through my phone and configure everything. And the speaker is it doesn't detect things very well when you're driving on the highway and at high speeds when it's a little bit louder. And the voice command button takes forever to respond. Like, you'll say someone's name and it'll take like a minute before it's like, oh, you said something. Okay, well, let me call this person. So the Bluetooth and the infotainment system still a little wonky, still light years better than what it was years ago, but still not the biggest fan of it. Still better than my old car, which didn't even have Bluetooth or cruise control, for that matter. The number 3 thing I don't like about my Subaru is it can get a little bit loud on the highway, and not just tire and road noise, but a lot of wind noise. Even though this car is, pretty aerodynamically sound, has a drag coefficient of 0.29, it still makes a lot of wind noise, especially over the mirrors and over the pillars here, which is quite unfortunate because, I wanted something that's a little bit quiet. Obviously this is not a luxury car, and I can't demand luxury car quietness, but this is much louder than the Focus, and the Focus was actually, a decently quiet car. And thinking coming to a Subaru, it'd be be about the same quietness as, my Focus, but alas, it was not. That's because they cheapened out on the sound deadening just a little bit. The doors are fairly light and hollow, but they still make a nice thunk, at least when you close them. But I still don't like the sound, the wind noise that this car makes, unfortunately. The number 2 thing I don't like about my Subaru Impreza is the CVT transmission. Now, I can't complain because I bought the car with the CVT transmission, and, shame on me for buying a car with a CVT transmission. But, I sit in a little bit of traffic every day at both ends of my commute, and I didn't really want to buy a manual. But, it is very smooth on the highway. Unfortunately, it's quite noisy sometimes, and it gets confused a lot of the time. Like, you'll floor it, and it doesn't know whether or not it wants to go in, doesn't know whether or not to go in full throttle, or whether or not it should stay, in a lower RPM. So sometimes it does get a little bit confused as to what to do. Now, a lot of people, say CVTs suck. The CVTs have gone a long way from like 10 years ago when they were highly unreliable. CVTs now, a lot more reliable. I still don't think they're as reliable as automatic transmissions or manuals, of course, but you know, they get the job done. They help fuel economy. But this one, you know, sometimes gets really, really confused, especially if you're, you know, you're cruising like 30 and then now you're merging on the highway and you put your foot down. It has no idea what to do sometimes. So it just kind of lugs and then starts building RPMs, and that can cause a lot of issues. The number one thing I really don't like about my Subaru Impreza is this is a weird one, and most people are like, wait, what are you talking about? Are the sun visors? They unfortunately are very, very small, and yes, they do cover the windshield very well, but they don't cover the side well at all. I'm 6'1", so I have the seat back pretty far in its tracks because I need to sit pretty far back to be able to, you know, sit in a comfortable seating position. And when I put this visor over to the left, let me show you right here, there's about a good 4-inch gap between the pillar and the sun visor. And that causes issues because I drive north to south most of the time on my way to and from work. And the sun, of course, sets in the west and rises in the east. So you can see that's a problem. And the sun usually directly shines right between that crack. So, and this sun visor doesn't extend. That's the big issue. It doesn't extend. If it extended, I wouldn't complain about it. But it's so small and it doesn't extend. That's a different problem. So, you know, that is my number one complaint. I wish I had a longer extending sun visor, and you know, it would make my life a lot easier. It would not burn my face, basically. Well, thank you guys for checking out this video, and I will talk to you guys next time. I'll probably make a video about 5 things I really like about the Subaru Impreza, and then I'll do a full in-depth review of this vehicle whenever I get the time. So I will talk to you guys soon.